What if all the Paladin trainers had different ace Pokemon? Last time we covered the ace Pokemon of all the members of the Paladin League and who we thought would be a better fit for each of them. And this time, we're looking at the remaining other trainers, which includes Team Stars, the Teachers, and the Rivals. Again, we'll be looking at new ace Pokemon of the type that they specialize in and be picking from any of the Pokemon from any generation. But just the one ace Pokemon that we deem most fitting. Speaking of all the Paladin trainers, you know where they all go? They all go to school. And so can you by enrolling the best place to study game design, which is today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. Coming back from work after the holiday break can be a struggle. I know picking up YouTube again after the holiday break was for me as well. Just when you got comfortable, forgot about your work schedule, perfected your holiday sleep schedule, reality returns, and it's not pretty. But of course, returning to work is a lot easier if you have a job that lets you live out your passions. So let's make 2023 the year where you start making that a reality. And a great place to start is Southern New Hampshire University, who's sponsoring today's video. SNHU has to be one of the largest accredited non-profit online degree offerings in the country, and I wanted to talk to you about their game development program. In this program, you'll learn how to create realistic, dynamic gameplay experiences with game AI, game physics, 2D and 3D graphics, and interface design. You'll also learn computer programming languages like C++, C#, and Java, and you'll learn 3D modeling and texturing with game art software. You'll learn how to research, develop, and contribute to advances and trends within the field of programming. Courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience. SNHU is radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. Go to snhu.edu/HybridHero, also linked in my description, to see what the current average annual salary for a programmer is and request free information about the program. When you request information, a real person will hop on a call and discuss how the program can benefit you personally. It only takes one click to find your calling. Starting with Team Stars. Team Stars all have what's basically a Titan Reverie as their ace Pokemon in their first battle, but in their second battle in the post-game, they're just regular battles with 5 Pokemon. Giacomo's ace here is King Gambit, which definitely should have been Geetha's ace, but whatever. That's one crazy ace to have for just some school kid, and I'd argue that it's just a bit too strong. We'll still keep his ace to be really strong, but we'll turn it down a notch with Obstagoon. Giacomo being a DJ really goes along well with Obstagoon's music vibes, and I think it fits really well, cause it's almost like the bouncer or the security guard and the DJ of the club, with the club being the Pokemon battle. Yeah, dumb analogy, I know. Mila's ace is Armarouge, which makes sense because her backstory with Ortega makes mention that she evolved a bunch of Charcadet to power up the Stormobiles that they use. But personally, I want to go the route of Atticus' backstory in regards to her outfit choice and give her a really fast fire type Pokemon, as her outfit is based off of the move Flame Charge. Initially, I was thinking to give her Blaziken as an ace, and while yeah, it would be cool, I think overall, Rapidash fits her design much more. She's all about the speed, and she even uses Quick Balls for her Pokemon to match her cut to the chase attitude. For Atticus, it was a bit difficult. He's a ninja, and of course Koga and Janine are there as point-step ninjas as well. But I personally don't want to give him Venonat as an ace. He actually still has Reverie as an ace, but you know, it's just a regular Reverie. And after thinking about it for a bit, I think the best Pokemon to give him here would be Scolipede. I don't think it's a perfect fit by any means, but obviously ninjas and speed are directly correlated with one another, which gives way for Scolipede's speed boost. But I also personally feel that Scolipede would somehow enjoy Atticus' old speaking patterns. How do I know that? Just because my Scolipede senses are tingling. Ortega, being some snobby rich kid with a lot of money, has Dashbun as his ace Pokemon. Why? Because snobby rich kids like to show off their pets. And what better pet like a Pokemon than Eevee? And since Ortega is a fairy type expert, Sylveon. Yes, I know, Sylveon's Penny's ace Pokemon, but we'll come to that later. For now, I don't see any other pet like fairy Pokemon that would work for Ortega, and honestly, I think Sylveon suits him really well. Aerie rolls with Annihilape as her ace, and honestly, I'm glad because it's a great ace to have. But something about the duo just doesn't fit in my opinion. Aerie is so kind-hearted and noble, but battle-hungry at the same time, that I feel like a Pokemon like Hawlucha would make a better ace, and they even share their love for face paint or a battle mask as well. The Teachers. At the end of the game, you get to go through the Academy Ace Tournament, where you get to face a variety of trainers in the game, and there's a bunch of new ones. Specifically, all the Academy Teachers, who you didn't get to face before. And each of them have a different kind of team composition and ace Pokemon that we're gonna go over. Starting off with our homeroom biology teacher, Jack, his ace is Farigiraf. And honestly, as a biology teacher in Paldea, I think it's the perfect ace Pokemon for him. And it even looks like the psychic type fits him really well. I wouldn't know what other Pokemon to pick for him in terms of the biology aspect of things, since I think Farigiraf is that good. but another possible ace for him would have to be with the grass, fire, and water Rotom forms. The one that's stronger than yours, since he is the developer of the Pokedex app for the Rotom phoner after all. Then there is the Battle Studies teacher, and her ace is Hariyama. And though that's cool, I think Scrafty works better for her. I think her attire being a tracksuit just matches Scrafty better, and her attire is entirely dark, fitting the dark typing that Scrafty has. Seguero is a funny one because despite his very masculine, brawny, and scary looks for an economics teacher, his team is entirely very feminine and cutesy, with his ace being Hatterini. Now, that's cool and all, but personally, I think it would be even funnier if his ace was actually Tinkaton. With his height and his size, this would just be hilarious. Salvatore is the languages teacher and his ace is Raichu. Now I was thinking of going Persian as his new ace as a nod to Team Rocket's Meowth, but he already has one on his team, so I thought maybe Slowking as a nod to the second movie as well, since it is one of the most intelligent Pokemon around. Dime is not only the math teacher, but she's Rhyme's sister and the actual rock-type expert of this game. Her current ace is Garganacl, and I don't think we have a rock or a ghost type as of yet, otherwise I would have picked that. But since she is a math teacher, I decided to go with Minior as her new ace. Math, stars, physics, I didn't go to school for this, but I think it's the closest rock type we're getting to anything math related. Miriam is a school nurse, and they've given her Toxapex as her ace. Now, I don't know if they did this as a means to be like, oh, she's low-key kinda deadly, but I was more so thinking along the lines of how poisons, if used correctly, can be used to heal people rather than hurt. And if that's the case, that's pretty cool. But in case it isn't, let's just make it easy here and give her Blissey, the most obvious choice in this entire list. Ryford is the history class teacher and her ace is Gengar. Now there are a few books in the school that mention Gengar I believe, so I might be missing some kind of connection here, or it may be how Gengar was the first Pokemon in the intro scene of Pokemon Red and Blue back in the day. I don't know, but I think a true historic Pokemon that we can give her here would be Aerodactyl. Can't really give her any ancient Pokemon, but Aerodactyl is ancient enough in its own way. And finally, we have Director Clavel. Obviously, Director Clavel has a starter that you're weak to as his ace, but outside of that, one may consider it to be Oranguru, which I actually think is a fantastic fit for him. But I think to make him kind of OP and to also fit his alter persona Clive, Goldenigo might be the best play. Come on, you know if Clavel whips us out of nowhere, you'd be loving it too. And hey, someone has gotta have it. Rivals and Professors. We're in the end game now, baby, for Paldea, and we're hitting the big three as well as the final bosses of the game. Penny, Arven, and Nimona, as well as Sada and Turo, the most important and pivotal characters to the game and its story. For Nimona, her ace is obviously the starter that's weak to our own starter. But outside of that, I think most people consider ace to be Palmot. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I find that Nimona shows up way too quick without any reason, which is why I think if she had an ace of Cyclizar, it would have worked out really well. Many trainers in Paldea use Cyclizar to maneuver around the region, and it would have been cool to see someone we're so close to use Cyclizar as well. Plus, I feel like it would have made for some really cool story and interactions with our own Koraidon or Miraidon. Penny is one trainer that we're really restricted with in terms of what ace Pokemon she can have. She uses 6 out of the 8 evolutions, her ace between them is Sylveon, and she pretty much can only use evolutions. But I felt like Sylveon was the most basic one to choose from. Let's be real, Penny isn't that crazy of a trainer with just evolutions, and that's why I think her having her ace just be a Terra type normal Eevee with adaptability would have been the most fun and unique twist for an ace. Sylveon is obvious, Eevee is fun, and that's what we're going with. Arven is the most tricky one in this whole video. His ace is Mabosstiff, obviously due to the story reasons and all, but the rest of his team is food based. Now, I don't think there's any replacing Mabosstiff here at all, but let's say he did have a 100% food based team. What would his ace be? Now, there are a ton of food Pokemon to choose from, but I would personally like to go with Alcremie because, you know what? When push comes to shove, Arven is such a sweet dude. But his parents on the other hand, now that's debatable. For Sada and Turo, and I'm talking about actual Sada and Turo here because I don't think there's anything changing for AI Sada and Turo's teams. I was initially thinking of giving them Hisu and Zoroark respectively as their ace Pokemon to reference and show the whole imposter thing that they have going on, but honestly, I think just both of them having Dittos would be much funnier. Come on, you know you would laugh. You guys want to see more Ace Pokemon videos? Well, I've been holding off on a few more of these Ace Pokemon videos since this series did hit a decline a while back. But if this video gets enough likes and comments from you guys saying that you want me to continue the series, then I definitely will. But as for right now, those are all the new Ace Pokemon for every single important character in Paldea.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you over on the next video, alright? Later!